A Bangladesh court sentenced Sheikh Rehana, sister of former Premier Sheikh Hasina, to 7 years in prison Monday for corruption in a case involving the grabbing of lucrative plots in the capital. Rehana's daughter, Tulip Siddiq, who is a British lawmaker, was handed a 2-year sentence in the same case, said Khan Mainul Hassan, prosecutor for the Anti-Corruption Commission. Hasina, who was given the death penalty for crimes against humanity last month, and 14 other government officials were condemned to 5 years of imprisonment. The 78-year-old former premier has sought refuge in India since her ouster last year following a student-led uprising, but Rehana's whereabouts remain unknown. Siddiq, who resigned as British anti-corruption minister in January after being named in graft probes in Bangladesh, has called the trial a persecution and a farce. Hassan said they had details of Siddiq's correspondence with Salahuddin Ahmed, the principal secretary to the then Prime Minister, exposing her role in the case. Hassan said, Tulip insisted that her aunt Sheikh Hasina allocate plots for her mother and siblings, as she herself took 3, 1 for her and 2 for her children. He added, she called Ahmed, communicated via some encrypted apps, and even met him while she was in Dhaka. Judge Rabiul Alam quoted verses from the Quran as he read out the judgment. He observed, the court has full authority to try any Bangladeshi, whether the person is in the country or abroad. Hasina decried the latest verdict in a statement mailed to AFP on Monday. She said, no country is free from corruption, but corruption needs to be investigated in a way that is not itself corrupt. The ACC has failed that test today. Prosecutors said that the interim government would notify the British authorities about Monday's verdict. There was no immediate reaction from Siddiq. However, in a recent interview with the Guardian newspaper, Siddiq said she was collateral damage in the feud between interim leader Muhammad Yunus and her aunt. Bangladesh has been in political turmoil since the end of Hasina's rule, and violence has marred campaigning for elections slated for February 2026. The United Nations says up to 1,400 people were killed in crackdowns as Hasina tried to cling to power. A commission set up to investigate a violent mutiny that saw dozens of senior army officers massacred 16 years ago on Sunday, said former Premier Sheikh Hasina had ordered the killings. After Hasina was ousted last year following a student-led uprising, the interim government led by Muhammad Yunus formed a commission to investigate the incident. According to the commission's report submitted on Sunday, the then Awami League government led by Hasina was directly involved in the mutiny. Yunus welcomed the commission's report, saying the nation had long remained in the dark about the reasons behind the 2009 killings. A previous investigation into the mutiny blamed years of pent-up anger among soldiers who felt their appeals for pay rises and better treatment were ignored. But that probe was carried out during Hasina's tenure, and her opponents claimed her involvement in a conspiracy to orchestrate the mutiny in order to weaken the military and bolster her own power.